Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yadaksharam Vedavido Vadanti Vishanti Yad Yatayo Vitaraga Yadyichanto Brahmacharyam Charanti Tante Padam Sangrahena Prabhakshe Sarvadvarani Samyamya Manofruti Nirudyacha Purni Ajayat Pranam Astito Yogadharanam Om iti ekaksharam Brahma Vyaharam Mamanusmaran Yah prayati jajateham Sayati paramam gati Ananya chetah satatam Yomam smarati nityashah Tasyaham sulabh partha Nityayuktasya yoginah. Hare Krishna. So welcome to all devotees for the Saturday evening program of Bhagavad Gita discussion. Today we are discussing from 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, verse 11, 12, 13 and 14. Translation, verse number 11. Person who are learned in the Vedas, who utter Omkara and who are great sages in the renounced order enter into Brahman. Desiring such perfection, one practices celibacy. I shall now briefly explain to you this process by which one may attain salvation. Verse number 12. Translation, the yogic situation is that of detachment from all sensual engagements, closing all the doors of senses and fixing the mind on the heart and the life air at the top of the head, one establishes himself in yoga. Verse number 13, translation, after being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating the sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of letters, if one thinks of the supreme personality of Godhead and quits his body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets. Verse number 14. Translation. For one who always remembers me without deviation, I am easy to obtain, O son of Pritha, because of his constant attachment in devotional service. Hare Krishna. So, if you look through the verses 11, 12 and 13, what is that? That Lord Krishna is trying to summarize. Krishna is trying to summarize the question of Arjuna, what should be the objective of one's life during the journey of human existence, what one should do. Arjuna is asking Krishna. And Krishna here, he is actually explaining the process of salvation. Depending upon the world we live in, we get a particular kind of body. For example, if you are living in India, you get an Indian body, like, right? So, when I went to Australia, I met one of Australian. So, he was jokingly asking, are you a coconut? I couldn't get what coconut means and what in relationship with me. So he asked, seriously, are you coconut? I said, I don't know. So he said, coconut means brown outside, white inside. You get what I mean? So you look like an Indian but behave like a Westerner. All thinking process is like a Westerner. All kinds of activities like a Western mind. So depending upon where we are born, we get a particular kind of body. Chinese, you are born in China, you get a Chinese body. Born in Japan, you get a Japanese body. If you're born in Korea, you get a Korean body. Before I was in India, I couldn't able to differentiate whose body is which nation, whose body. I'm now able to clearly distinguish between pretty much a Australian body and a American body. Because if you live for a long time, you would be able to clearly differentiate between the material bodies based upon the national origin. So basically, depending upon the nation you are born, you get a particular kind of body. Depending upon the globe you are born, you get a particular kind of body. If you are on an earthly planet, you have a certain kind of body in the earthly planet which is pretty much in sync with the rules and laws of these conditions of this earthly planet. If you are born in a different planet, you get a different kind of body. Similarly, Abrahma Loka Punaravartino Arjuna. So Lord Krishna says all the planets, starting with the Earth planet, going 7 planets down, 7 planets up. All the planets, though they have a different kind of bodies, but at the end of the day, they all have one thing in common, which is Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Doshana Darsanam. Everyone are born, everyone are sure to die. Doesn't matter whether you are in earthly planet or whether you are the planets down to the earthly planets, or you are in the heavenly planets. You have to take birth, you have to die, you will have diseases, you will have death. So Krishna, when he says Yad Aksharam Veda Vido Vadanti Vishanti Yad Yatayo Vitaragaha Tatte Padam Sangrahena. So Lord Krishna says here, one who is really looking for the liberation, he needs to take a different process. Doesn't matter Abhrahma Puna, Loka Punaravartina Arjuna, from the 7 planets down, 7 planets up, all the planets have certain kind of education system that needs to be taken by each and every person. And they have a birth, they have a death. But to liberate from the entire processes of living from all these planets, one needs to follow the process. Why do we need to do that? It looks, these 11th, 12th and 13th verses looks to be the verses where Lord Krishna is explaining very, very tough lifestyle one needs to adopt. And at the end of the day, what is the conclusion of following this tough process? Is to attain Krishna. But how many in this world are really, really looking for Krishna? Bahunam janmanam ante janavan gnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. Krishna says, out of millions and millions of people, very, very few are looking for Krishna. It is not that anything you go, you look for Krishna. If you are appreciating someone in this world, you are appreciating Krishna in a very, very, very indirect way. Because the summum bonum of all the attraction what you see in this world is residing in a Krishna in a million times greater than what we see in this world. So Krishna is giving a process of liberation which many people do not even value for it, because whole life ahara nitra payamaitanamscha samanya etat pashubhi narana. Whole life we will be struggling for eating, recreation, sleeping, and fighting for our existence. Entire life breath is ahara, eating, nidra, sleeping, bhaya maitunamsha, defending, trying to be existing, relevant in this world, updating your skills each and every time. If you are in the IT, you have to update your skills every 6 months or 1 year. Relevance in this world is very, very difficult. It is not that once you finish your graduation, you are relevant in this world. Absolutely not. So, in this world, anything you acquire has no significance. That's why, bhaya maitunam sha, bhaya fear. IT world is a world of fear because next year you may not be relevant. I have gone through so many certifications. The skills which I learned in 1996 no more existing if you just hold the skill all alone. You need to be updated to the relevant in this world. Hence, ahar nidra bhayamatunam sha, eating, mating, sleeping, defending you every day. All of us struggle. In this middle of struggle, how many people remember Krishna? Because Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is really focusing, he is not telling about Java or a Python programming or React JS programming or no, he is not telling about management. Absolutely, he is not telling anything about the aptitude here. He is telling about managing our own life. Some people define life as beauty. But how many people in this world, so many beautiful and handsome, are happy? I just saw a Tamilian beauty just a day back committed suicide. And those who commit suicide are the most beautiful, good looking girls who would have gone to the entertainment world or who are aspiring to model the, go into the modeling or achieve something, get into depression and commit suicide. If life is all about power, many people having power today are most depressed and lonely. If life is all about fame, many people having fame are struggling to cope up with. And if life is all about acquiring material education, most people who are IIT graduates are committing suicide. It is not that life is all about acquiring this. I was telling this to my dear friend Krishna Prasad, Krishna Karuna Prabhu, who came last week. He's been trying from last 3 years and has been consulting me, Prabhu, why do I need to come to India? I said, if you are looking for material opulences, never ever dream of coming back to India, because India you will never be able to achieve opulences which you are dreaming of living in America. It's uncomparable. If you are thinking about your life, not bodily life, not material life, if you are trying to upgrade your human life, trying to understand the purpose of human life, then you need to come to India. So I have spoken hours and hours and hours, and finally he decided to come to India. So it becomes very, very difficult, and at the end of the day, what is the goal of human life? Very, very important. We need to understand. I was telling the same thing to my daughter Akinchana today. If you think the goal of human life is material opulence, straight, you go to Australia because you are Australian citizen. We are all Australian citizens. You go and get into one of the best colleges in Australia, study for free, opulences everywhere, have nice car, have nice bungalow, plan everything, stay. But if you are looking, the goal of human life is about developing relationship with Krishna, the spiritual education, spiritual understanding of the purpose of life, then you have to come to India. You have to stay in India. This is the same thing I said last time to Krishna Karuna Prabhu, who now has decided and put his children to school. Just imagine, the entire family are American citizens. The whole life here, family struggles to get an American citizen somewhere. An American citizen, after living for a few years, comes back, says, enough. See how relative this entire world is. So, we really need to understand when Krishna is speaking about the 11th, 12th, 13th verses of Bhagavad Gita, 8th chapter, he is speaking about the brahmacharyam charanti, how you had to maintain celibacy, forget about all these things in the Western world. So at least you experience little in India. Nowadays, if you are in Pune, Mumbai, in a posh locations of Bangalore and all, it's all closer to all nations are going through degradation. India is also going through degradation. In India, sitting in India, you become a coconut thinking about Western world. Yadaksharam Veda Vido Vadanti Vishanti Yat Yatayo Vitaragaha. Krishna says you need to detach from very difficult, detach from sensual, lifestyle. Krishna is telling about why he has to tell this. Sarvadvarani Samyamya. 12th verse of 8th chapter. Sarvatvarani, all the doors of enjoyment, close it. Krishna is saying. Why to close it? Whole purpose of me to have beauty, have control, have fame, have material opulences is all about opening the door. Exploring sensual is become a goal of life. Here Krishna is saying, Sarvadvarani Samyamya. Krishna in second chapter also says, Krishna says, if you can restrain your senses, focus on me. Tasya prajna pratishtha. He is the most intelligent person. Sarvadvarani samyam. He is saying, close the door of all your enjoyment. And if you are looking for, I would like to have a flat. Flat should be next to the multiplex where has all the films going and have a KFC and have a Burger King. Sarvadvarani samyam. If you really want to be in a spiritual education, you need to really think about what is the goal of human life is all about. Krishna is saying, Sarvadvarani samyamya mano frudi nirutyacha. It's basically ensure you confine to what your heart says. Many people forget what my heart is saying. People are just running behind what their senses are saying. 13th verse, Krishna says, Om iti ekaksharam brahma vyaharan ma manusmaran yaprayati tyachan deham sayati paramam gatim. Krishna is not a retirement plan. Krishna is, life full-time plan. Krishna is a full-time activity. It's not a part-time activity. Love is a full-time. How many wives in this world says part-time engagement? Full-time engagement. Are you available to me full-time? So in this life where we live for 60, 70 years, if it is a full-time engagement, each and every person asks for, does Krishna doesn't ask for full-time engagement? Love means full-time. So that's why Krishna, after speaking this entire thing of actually maintaining Sarvadvarani Samyamaya and Om Ityaksharam Brahma, if you want to meditate, go to the forest, meditate, sit on a particular posture, control your senses, control your breathing, focus on the Om mantra. That's the most difficult thing. And immediately Krishna says, Ananya Chetasaha Satatam. Yomam Smarate Nityashaha Tasyaham Sulabha Partha Nitya Yuktasya Yoginaha. Why Krishna? Each and every time in Jnana Yoga also Krishna spoke about meditation and immediately he came to Bhakti Yoga devotional service. Because Krishna, again, we want to reiterate, whole process of doing it is to attain me. If there is a most easiest process, which is Ananya Chetasaha Satatam, focusing our mind and intelligence on Krishna, engaging ourselves, not Antakalecha Mameva, not thinking about Krishna at the time of death, but Tasma Sarveshu Kaleshu Mama Anusmara Yuddhacha. Fight in the battlefield, thinking about me always. That's why Krishna is saying, Ananya Chetasa Satatam. Thinking about me is also meant that we are working, we are doing our occupational duty as a husband or a wife or a working to some boss in a certain company and performing our material obligation. But within all these duties, Ananya Cheta Satatam, we undeviated thinking about Krishna is possible. Whoever are in love, they can easily tell that they have their own material obligations to do. They will be doing all those things because they love someone. So if we love Krishna, there is a lifestyle, modification we have to do. We modify our lifestyle for someone we love, right? For certain years of time. In this world, absolutely love has no significance of full time. All people in this world, they say, I love you so much, and marry. Within few years, they break away. Any relationship in this world has no definition of love unless and until we fill that relationship with Krishna, because full-time engagement is only possible with a full-time employer. The full-time employer is only Krishna. Part-time employers are all in this world. Krishna is a full-time employer because Krishna is eternal. Krishna is, ever living, ever fresh. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadhir Adhir Govinda. So he is the eternal seed-giving father for all of us, and hence it's very, very important that we develop relationship with him, because ultimately Ananya Chetaha Satatam. Ananya, Krishna is saying undeviated, because product itself is like that. The demand is also like that. For example, if you go for a high-end laptop, it expects you to give, also pay that much, right? If you're going for a Mysore silk sari, it will cost you. You need to pay for it. If you really want to get Krishna, we need to give up this material body. Just like you dream about America, you need to give up your Indian body. So if you really want to get born in America, you need to give up your Indian body. And if you really want to live with Krishna, you need to get a spiritual body. There is no other way. Krishna resides in Goloka Namni Nicharamni Kalayana Tasya Govinda Mahadipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. The person who lives with cows in the Goloka is Krishna. If you really want to live with Krishna, what is that? We really need to actually develop mentality of Krishna. What is the mentality of Krishna? Mentality of Krishna is to serve. Love everyone. Loving is spontaneous. Loving means absolutely you need to be unintelligent person in this world. Intelligent people can't love, because intelligent people will always calculate. Unintelligent people only can love. What does it mean unintelligent? You need to come out of all this material intelligence, because Krishna can go to Vidura's place to eat banana skins, peas. He can leave your palak paneer and hot rotis. He can go to neighbor's house for eating banana peels. So it is a material intelligent person. What does it mean? It is very, very difficult to comprehend this logic. How can a person go to the next door to eat banana skin, leaving such a chappan bhog of Duryodhana? With your material intelligence, you cannot. We will never ever be able to develop love for Krishna, because love for Krishna comes, it is beyond our material calculation. Krishna was available to one who was near the feet than near his face. As per the calculation, you need to be near the face to see someone immediately. When you get up, yeah, but at this end of the material calculation, you are pretty much near to someone whose senses are, as soon as they are awake, they would be next to you. Material, as per the distance, I'm saying, you should be next, very close. So it is very, very important to understand Krishna consciousness is a very, very genuine process where none of our calculations works. So none of our material life, if the life is all about gaining all the opulences of this world, and all the opulences, even if you gain it, you will not be happy. What is the most What is most important thing to gaining this world? Satisfaction. Where does the satisfaction comes from? State of mind is very, very important. If the mind is not controlled, no matter whatever we might achieve, we will never ever be happy in this world. Elon Musk is not happy today. He is asking Twitter, you take out the garbage, then only I will buy. Elon Musk is running, although he has all the appearances. I am shocked. If I was Elon Musk, I would be investing every village. I will construct a temple. Every village. And such a happy state. Just keep on inaugurating one temple, one temple, one temple everywhere, and just Hare Krishna. And why can't you be happy? Elon Musk says, I'm not happy. Who is happy in this world? You just ask who is happy in this world after gaining everything. Very, very difficult. Even if you ask the Google man, are you happy? Struggling. You know the life is all about. He had such a son who was an very, very special kid. Very difficult to go through life. We will not get everything in our life. That's why Yasyasti Bhaktar Bhagavati Akinchana Sarvai Gunai Satra Samasate Suraha Haro Abhaktasya Kutak Mahat Gunaha Manorate Nasati Davato Bahihi. If the mind is not in our control, mind will always will be pulling us in every direction. Every direction. With that pulling, that Manoratena Asati Davato Bahihi, how is it possible that you can ever be happy? Srimad Bhagavatam tells, Vasudev is asking. Then what is the solution? Vasudev says, Yasyasti Bhakti Bhagavati Akinchana. We need to actually, solution is Krishna. Krishna is available. If we seriously look out for him in everywhere, but especially easiest is in India. Very easiest. That's why most of the Western people leave everything and come to India. They live in Vrindavan. Vrindavan, is a village. Extreme situation of, heat and cold. But if you look at the opulences, it's no more comparable. When Prabhupada was explaining to all the disciples about Vrindavana, peacocks and the flowers and they all picturized in American living with the incorporation of all the food grains and everything, and the combo of American luxury and Vrindavan beauty. When they came to Vrindavan and they started walking on the sand, at those times there was no kind of a good roads in Vrindavan. Everywhere there was a very, very soft sand where you need to walk. And they said, Prabhupada, you explain differently about Vrindavan. And Prabhupada said, close your eyes. With your eyes, you will never ever be able to see Vrindavan. So that's why Yasyasti Bhaktir Bhagavati Akinchana Sarvair Gunais Tatra Samasate Suraha. All the good characters of the combination of all the characters that is residing in the demigod will reside in a devotee because he is after Krishna. He is after Krishna. Sometimes we define life with respect to the material opulences. Very, very, very dangerous decision we take in our life. Haro abhaktasya kuta mahatgunaha. Scripture says, what is the use of a person who is not devoted to Krishna, because he will never ever be able to have good character. That's why, I was looking at the clipping of Gaurang Prabhu. He was saying, if money is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost. If character is lost, everything is lost. That's why it is very, very important that we actually focus our purpose of human life. And this verse is very, very important. Again, Krishna says, Bhaktya atva ananya shakya aham evam vido Arjuna. In the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita says, only a devotee can actually see me as I am standing in front of you. Because Duryodhana couldn't see. Everyone was seeing Krishna, but only few could able to actually comprehend who Krishna is. And Natum Drushtum, if you really want to know me, if you want to see me, Chatatvena, if you really want to understand me in absolute sense, who am I as Krishna standing before you? And Praveshtim cha Parantapa, if you really want to enter into my abode of Golok Vrindavan, 11th, 12th, 13th verse, very difficult process. 14th verse of 8th chapter, Ananya Cheta Satatam Yomam Smarati Nityashaha, we really need to think about Krishna. Ananya, undeviated. Tasyaham Sulabha Partha. For him it is easy because Vidura, though actually he was doing all the organizational politics, he was always thinking about Krishna. Ambarish Maharaj, he was taking care of entire kingdom, he was thinking about Krishna. Kulashekara Alvar, he was maintaining the entire South India, he was thinking about Krishna. Prithu Maharaj, he was managing the entire world. He was thinking about Krishna. Who are we? What we manage? Can't we think about Krishna? It is possible. The only way is develop love for Krishna. And chanting is the most easiest process. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Krishna.